Hello. Thanks for being here. My name is Caitlin Michelle, and let's talk life and esoterics, because that's what we do here. I hope you've been doing really well. I know, again, I'm coming at you a day late. Maybe I should just say, I'll see you next Thursday instead of Wednesday, but here I am. I still made it. And a little bit of housekeeping. If you missed last week's episode, I announced that there would be this week and then next week. And these are my last two episodes before I take a little bit of a break. And then I'll be back here again with season 2 in February of 2022. So it's the day before Christmas Eve as I'm recording this. And again, if you haven't been following everything that's been going on, we are moved into this temporary townhouse while we are taking care of that very scary situation, which is mostly taken care of, and we're just going to rent out our house and look for a new one. So just trying to get everything together for Christmas has been quite a challenge. I mean, all of the holidays, really. I mean, we had Thanksgiving the week that this all happened, and then we've moved twice since then. So, all of that is to say that I am not fully prepared with notes, and I don't really think this is going to be a super long episode, but I do still want to take the time to connect. It is a weekly ritual that I really value. And actually, I've been thinking a lot about rituals lately and how we have rituals for lots of things. When we give birth to a baby, oftentimes there will be some sort of ritual in every single culture that recognizes that baby as an individual within the group. We have rituals for funerals. We have rituals for birthdays. We have rituals for the Sabbath or Shabbat. In different religions, we have countless rituals. It's part of who we are as human beings. I think it must be in our DNA just to make rituals. And, it's amazing because when we do set up a ritual, we're creating a sacred space. And within that sacred space, we can manifest whatever that transformation is that we are doing. So even, for example, a wedding, a marriage. Well, that's a ritual, and that's a ritual that's transforming two individual people into a united pair. There's that transformation. And I guess I have kind of touched on rituals previously, probably in my episode about Habe, which actually I haven't really been feeling called to sit with Habe for quite a while now. I find, especially when I'm going through a lot of tumultuous stuff, like I have been, I don't really feel the need to sit with plant medicine or anything. I would rather come at it very balanced. Still, I think that is also a way to set respectful boundaries around a ritual. However, I have actually been having cacao. My husband and I have recently decided that, and this is brand new, so hopefully we'll continue doing this, but last week we decided that once a week, every week, we'll come together for a cacao ritual, just the two of us. And especially because cacao is such a heart opener, we feel that this is the way that we want to concentrate again on building our relationship, so that we continue to grow together, even with everything that's been going on. So ritual. And a ritual can be anything. You can make up your own rituals. I do that all the time. But there are just three main components. You have the opening, where you set a sacred space, which could just be taking a deep breath and having the intention of, okay, I am going to just sit with the quiet. And then also having an actual intention if you are meditating on something or praying. So that's the opening. And then the liminal part, that's the second part. That's where we are actually manifesting. That's the action part. And then the third part is the close, where we very intentionally close up the space and go back to our normal state. Even lighting a candle can be a ritual. You set the candle down before you take a deep breath. If you want to set an intention, you can. For example, even on birthday candles, how we blow out the candles and we make a wish. Well, that would be the second part, the liminal space. Once the wish is made and the flame is blown out, well, that's the end. And people sing happy birthday, and that is the end of that birthday ritual. I just kind of tied that into something that I think we can all relate to. So rituals are easy, and we are so free and flexible to create whatever rituals feel good and rich and yummy. So yeah, I don't know exactly how I ended up falling into the topic of ritual, but I guess as part of that, I did choose a card, an oracle card, before starting to record here. And this is for all of us at any time when we're listening. This message is for you. That's how I really phrase my intentions, especially before coming on here. So I actually pulled two cards, and I pulled it from the Audacious Action Angels Oracle. And I feel as though I've pulled these exact two cards before. Certainly the first one, which is Charge It, I think that was episode 2 or 3. And I'll go over what that means in just a moment. And then the second card was Wake Up. And the image on it is a person, but her body is an alarm clock. And it looks like the alarm clock is sounding and she's all surprised. So I'm actually going to start with that. I'm going to read from the booklet because I just intuitively felt like this resonated really deeply. So here it goes. The card meaning: your body is warning you. It's time to listen to its signals. It's time to wake up. Do you hear it? That's your internal alarm clock going off. It's rattling, jangling, just screaming, wake up. Your body is sending you all sorts of signals. It's just time to listen. If your stomach hurts, you feel dizzy, you have been getting tingly or perhaps tired, your body is sounding the alarm. It may be telling you to get away from someone or a situation, or to slow down or speed up, or just to take heed with your circumstances. Sometimes we don't want to wake up. To avoid our alarm clocks, we unplug them from their power source or try to turn them off. Too much alcohol or sugar can slow your body's signals. Your body's alarm system is your friend. Remember those war movies when it's time for the submarine to do an emergency dive? Someone in the crew yells, "Alarm!" Whatever's going on for you right now, it's time to honor your body's security system. To keep it running, it needs daily maintenance, clarity, and an occasional reset. Before you throw your shoe at it, listen to what it's trying to say. Your body is an antenna to heaven. Bless that jarring sound. Your embodied alarm clock is going off. It's time to wake up. I mean, I thought that this is pretty apropos because I almost never get sick. And I'm not really sick right now, but I did wake up with a little bit of a sore throat. And because I'm not really used to getting sick anymore, it's been years and years, I'm just kind of like, But I know personally there are a lot of circumstances that have been going on, and this is separate from the reason why we needed to flee our house. But I think I have been laying on processed sugars a little bit too much, and part of me has been telling myself, well, I can afford to do it. I'm still breastfeeding and I'm underweight, so I should just get the calories in. Doesn't matter if it's 7 donuts, which that's a true story that happened. 7 donuts within like a little over 24 hours, but I felt terrible. And I feel like I'm still kind of recovering from that, even though it was 2 weeks ago. And then we had a holiday party this past weekend, and I made some vegan brownie dip. And by the way, the donuts were also vegan. But I made some vegan brownie dip because that's been my thing to make for the holidays the last couple years. Oh my gosh, but honestly, I feel terrible when I eat it. And then there's that big bowl still sitting in my fridge. And when I'm really, really hungry and I know that I'm craving fruit, something really juicy and fresh and electric, something that will really boost me up, I've still at some points actually just I've ignored that and taken a spoon and eaten a couple bites of the brownie dip. And then I put it down. I'm like, why did I do that? But it's Sagittarius season, My friend Grace recently told me, it was a couple weeks ago, that Sagittarius is a sign that really doesn't really know when to stop. So I know for years I've heard, people gain weight around the holidays and of course people say, oh, it's because of all the holiday parties. And yeah, I think that's true. But I think the other component is the fact that all of this is happening within Sagittarius season. So actually, I think are we in Capricorn yet? I'm a Capricorn sun, but I'm January. So I don't really remember the very first day of Capricorn season. I'm going to look this up. We might be in Capricorn right now. Let me see. That's so funny. Yeah, we are in Capricorn season. It started yesterday, December 22nd. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense why we're getting the wake-up call, because now we're out of Sagittarius and it's time to get down to business, be all Capricornian about it. All that being said, I think a lot of this is also just being able to rest. That was a big point made on this card. Just rest. You don't have to push it and go to the gym, all those New Year's resolutions, which are good to make. I don't want to discourage that. But I'm saying if you gain a little bit of weight, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes we need a little extra weight as our cells are metamorphosizing, and then it'll come off. And especially when we assist it with physical activity, that's great too. So no pressure anyway, either way. Listen to your own body. Don't listen to me with what you need to be doing with your body. Listen to your own body. I trust that you have already been exposed to all the different tools for knowing how to exercise or knowing when to rest. And everything in between. So I'm going to just move on now because that's not a topic or domain that I really want to get into too much. And then the other